All right. Okay,
All
so
right.
we're up. I'll let them know to start.
Yep. All right. Welcome, everybody. This is Jared Napolitano, JNAP. I'm here with Garrett Larson, aka Dead Body. We're going to be streaming, covering quarterfinals match of the 2022 Online Championship Series playoffs between allstarz97, aka Justin Desai, and shaw67193, aka Greg Shaw. Tables posted. Justin is the 1 overall seed, so he posts the table. He picks dark first. Players have joined the table, and Greg is light, so we'll see the revealing cards here, and we'll do a little kickoff and preempt and see what to expect here. And this already looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm Hunt Down OG was definitely not what I was really expecting to see Rops here.
I think if you are selling out to beat Legend, I think Hunt Down is probably the best thing to do. I shouldn't say
Yeah,
best. I think it's a very strong play.
Hunt Down is in match play. Hunt Down can be a great deck because it's swingy, but it absolutely has the ability to just crush your opponent.
Yeah.
Like if you get a fast early start going,
yeah,
you can just put them in a position they can't recover from.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we have Justin here, who just won the World Championship 3-4 weeks ago. Greg also made his second straight top 8. I think his 8th ever top 8. And Greg and Justin both played Legend in the main event, and Justin played it on day 2. So obviously, both players very well aware that the other one might play Legend for light. So this is interesting here. Of course, Justin's doing a 12-card start. And Greg's doing, I'm not sure if it's a flex per se, but he's definitely doing the system, which you always want to do against Huntdown, strike planning, Walkling V.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing them talk and reading a tournament report that they kind of talk about Brave Resistance not being as important, especially just to get the system going and strike planning rolling right there.
Mm-hmm.
So Justin went and got the security tower, got 4-alarm to get the cycling started.
So right off the bat, anytime you see 4-alarm V, you maybe suspect there's some 7s action, 9s action. Oh, not at 9s, but 7s. Possibly Force Lightning, Maul Strikes, although that would place Hunt Down out of play. He's not doing the special effects, so no Maul Strikes, but definitely some Force Lightnings possible with Emperors and Dooku's and Choke Vader, perhaps, to take out some Jedi.
I mean, he'll probably have Maul Strikes as a Destiny adder, but there's probably not against Legend, but there's definitely spots where, and I've done it before, to put Hunt Down out of play just to duel off a problematic character isn't the worst thing ever.
Yeah.
If it gets you that lock-in control, like, it means you start burning to Visage every turn. But if it puts you ahead and gets that clock running,
yeah,
it can definitely be worth it.
Yeah, so both players have to peel here on turn 1. Justin gets 1 Twix out. Greg loses projection of Skywalker from hand. Probably not going to be very helpful. Usually Hunt Down does the Cloud City mobile, especially if he's got security tower. But of course, Legend cannot top deck early. There's just a handful of crucial cards, especially Luke. He has Walkling. Justin doesn't have Coward, or isn't satisfying Coward either yet. But point remains that Legend can't top deck key cards early in this matchup.
Yeah, you have to. A couple cards you just have to have.
Yeah.
I think Justin maybe didn't get a Vader.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised not to see him leave one, although Legend doesn't necessarily play a ton of impactful interrupts early. Like, maybe leadership's worth grabbing. Yeah. All wings. I doubt Justin's running much space to.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't grab all wings.
Worry about it.
This is interesting because my team, when we were talking with Surson, who was playing against Bastion in the first round here, and of course Bastion's known for playing Legend and obviously being very, 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 very good with it. We had tossed around possibly doing Hunt Down and just kind of selling out pretty hard on a lot of like anti-Legend stuff. But I had a matchup against Steve Baroni in the Texas Mini Worlds. I mean, Legend's gone through a couple different iterations, but I'll never forget that game because I remember I started off really good and I saw him, he was top decking, or not top decking, he was losing a lot of force, but he was like really calm and patient, and then eventually just set up everything and satisfied battle plan and Nestlored all his guys over to my location, and I feel like in the blink of an eye he just totally flipped the script in that game. As we see, pretty standard Legend stuff here. Old Man Luke comes out to the saddle. Force projection gets uploaded. Greg's going to draw the rest of his force pile, and both sides are going to toss a card here now.
Yeah, I mean, it's Hunt Down is that deck. Like I said, if you get out early and can just pressure hard enough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It locks you into that win, and it's real tough to beat.
Yeah.
But if you can't get there, Hunt Down's always got the ability to end up, that clock can turn bad on you quick.
Yeah. And Justin's probably running one Battleground. Ooh, interesting. Surface Defense V and a Sense with Hunt Down out. So we're
yeah,
gonna add
but the
4
Sense
here.
is going to be a +4 draw.
Yeah, so that's
okay. So he
miss.
failed on the draw.
What do we think he's getting here? Maybe Silence? I wonder why Greg... He might as well.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well take the shot. I don't know what he's getting.
Like No Escape
Maybe
and something
Silence?
special are in there. Probably, but...
Yeah.
I wouldn't see him... Oh, I Am Your Father. Duh. That's probably the most obvious. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, he's not using the AI. Oh, I don't know if he did that event. But yeah, the I Am Your Father AI is pretty sweet. And then a Force Push here, probably to find a Vader, I'm guessing.
Or
maybe,
a Sight.
Yeah, or a Sonic.
That might be the other thing he's looking for is a Battleground.
Yeah, you want to piece together Vader on the downtown plaza. And ideally something like a Force Field, but he probably doesn't need that against Legend. With only 9 Force.
Probably not yet.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be nice to have because you assume Rey is going to come down with Anakin Saber at some point.
Yeah. Yeah.
But...
That'll be interesting to see if Greg feels pressure to attack with Rey, maybe sooner than he might like, but just to try to knock Justin off kind of the momentum that he might have here.
Yeah. I mean, Justin's got to get a Battleground site out.
Van A uploads the castle. That's the other Twix.
Yeah.
So yeah, still probably downtown plaza and a bridge, I'm guessing, if it's like a pretty classic 12-card Hunt Down.
That'd be my guess. I'm trying to figure out if he'd have another Battleground in there, or if he's just going to try and stack the plaza.
He just draws, so no plaza plus Vader quite yet, so he's going to peel again. This will be the third round of Visage pings for both players.
Yeah, he's going to peel 2 more cards to Visage over the next 2 turns, and that's starting to turn that clock on a way Hunt Down doesn't want.
So I've played Hunt Down a lot. One of the fun things about it is that the games are usually pretty quick. One of the bad things is, like, from the get-go, you're just, like, under stress because you just hate losing to your own card.
Yeah.
But obviously your opponent hates it also, just that pressure.
Yeah, I think Justin's looking for a sight or a puller, and is...
So he plays
he's
Point Man
activated
V.
everything.
Plays Point Man V. He knows everything that's in there from the Force Push, and then he draws the remainder. So wow. So that tells me that whatever there were a card or two that maybe the Point Man V doesn't necessarily mean like, hey, I absolutely need a card. He was just kind of cycling it, but to draw the last
I
one.
think it might have just been a cycle. Like I don't think he's that worried about keep your eyes open.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to sit on that, and he's clearly got a handful of stuff he doesn't need right now.
Yeah. Here comes to leadership from Greg. Let's see what he uploads here.
Kind of curious if Greg's going to try and get the Falcon down quick, because that drain of 2 at Jakku would be what would start to sting real early.
Yeah, very low activation for both sides, even though Justin's got a couple Twixes, but only 9 apiece. So
yeah, well, and Van A gets him another effectively 10. So
do a quick PSA. Today's last day for the player survey for 2022. So if you have not filled that out yet and you're watching the stream, load it up. Just go to forum.starwarsccg.org. Announcements forum near the top, and it's a pinned post. Everyone please fill that out. And not necessarily just active players. It's good for passive players, collectors, old school players, new school players. Everyone should fill that out. There's lots of questions for all different types of people in the Star Wars CCG community. So check that out. After today, advocates and everyone else who will be relevant. There's a lot of info for specific committees. Start analyzing the results. Most urgently analyze the COVID responses to just account for that when determining the policy for the San Diego Open. That policy is going to be announced on the 15th, and the event's at the end of January, the 20th to the 23rd.
So Greg just draws up to 12, and
yeah, this is interesting. Kind of like a staring contest, a little bit early, but it could be worse. All right, no grab.
Yeah. I'm just still not sure what we're looking for here. All right, so there's the
accelerate bridge. We'll be doing a sticker book token for the program there some point during this. They are planning to play both games tonight, back to back. This is the last of the 4 quarterfinals matches for the OCS playoffs. Out comes Lord Vader to the castle for 6.
Still no battleground site, which is...
Maybe he wants to make sure he doesn't get barriered. He probably doesn't want to put the site out, then risk Vader getting barriered and stuck there, and then allow Greg to take it. But still no site. Wow, so he's just... I guess both players respecting Monarch Grimtosh. And Greg has played a Monarch or Grimtosh in his day. Definitely nowadays.
And Justin had just deployed the bridge, so he knew must have known the Saber wasn't in there.
Yeah. All right. So forget what I said about Monarch Grimtoshes. Justin goes to 14.
I think Justin's hunting for a location, and he's got to...
that's the worst.
He hasn't had a way to play all the cards, so he's just got to take that risk at this point.
He probably has like 3 Sonics, and obviously the site itself.
That'd be...
Unita off the top. There's a Sonic from hand.
He just lost a Sonic from hand, so he may have just drawn 2 of them.
Yeah.
One right after the other type thing.
Yeah. Reigns approach.
That would be frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah. Quite a mercenary to look for Chewie or mercenary armor with.
I would expect Chewie just for he's the BB-8 protection for this deck. Yeah, Nate says he either drew a second Sonic or he drew the sight, and I'd wager it might be the sight just because he didn't play a different Sonic.
Yeah.
The Saber might be in that bottom of the reserve.
Right.
Where he'd like to be able to just activate to it and...
Yeah, good point. Yeah, he doesn't want to shuffle it
up.
No,
it's in there.
Mm-hmm. All right, so
but if you don't have the battleground site, that's not terribly helpful. So,
all right,
probably ready. Finally drew into it.
New Akbar and Holdo, which was pulled a couple turns ago via leadership, or maybe 1 turn ago. So 2 admirals on the Falcon there. That'll be a drain of 2.
Yeah, Chiku. I remember that scene right from the movie. That was, Yeah, that's
the Holdo.
Greg realizes the clock needs to run just as much as Justin does. So it's
there's another Sonic.
They're both
and a Jedi Ray.
And they're one Ray.
Surprise, Justin Coward. Usually I like pulling Coward in this matchup, but he's not satisfying it yet. Yeah, so might as well not pull it yet. Yeah, good point. Yeah.
It'll probably come out pretty quick here as he's getting Vader's Saber.
Yep. And there's the Saber. He's got to have the Plaza by now, right?
Yeah, I'd imagine. I can't...
There it is.
Then I was going to say he's got to have some way to back up Vader.
Yeah.
But you don't necessarily want to go too heavy, or you run the risk of Greg just stacking castle money.
Because if Legend can just, it can go pretty light in space. Might not need much more than that, honestly. And then it could just stack their antechamber. I think Legend will win that race, right?
Oh yeah.
If the 2 of the most powerful characters in Vader and Dooku are there. You know, he doesn't want to put many more.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that's a site that will be tough for Greg to take. So, and yeah, Bill's saying in chat, you either go real hard at Vader or you completely ignore Vader, drop your own site, drop Menace,
yeah,
and race. And the one thing with Justin being slow to get his site is I feel like he's probably got a whole lot to start coming after him with if Greg doesn't get enough at that site to keep it in play.
Yeah. Right, Greg top decks Rebel Leadership to Visage. I have 13 to work with here. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
Probably not a big loss.
Justin pulls Battle Order because if he doesn't, of course Greg will, so might as well make him pay for it. Even though Greg is probably more likely to satisfy it in the long run, but
yeah, but Greg's also activating less right now, and
be a Maul and an Infiltrator.
Keeping that force low is better for Justin. You know, 10 force isn't a lot to deploy something that's safe against a hunt down beat squad.
Yeah.
So he might have saved himself the 2 force of the drain here.
And Dooku's kind of nice against Legend because obviously Legend has a lot of weapons protection, but it doesn't, you know, Force Lightning's kind of a different path. You are beaten's pretty nice against Legend too.
Yeah.
Alright, so Greg's going to pay to drain for 2. Justin's got to lose 2 here. Another Sonic. Is that?
Another Sonic. Yeah.
Is he running 4 Sonics? Or maybe it's just 3. I know he tossed 1 from hand. He top decked 1. Maybe
he's top decked 2 and he tossed 1 from hand.
Alright, Greg's going to deploy a site. Antechamber comes out, so this seems like he's going to go there with his ground. Well, he's only got 8 force, so what is that? Rey and nothing else really, or
Leia, Chewie.
Yeah, Leia Protector, maybe Rose or something.
And neither of those feel strong enough, honestly.
No, he's just going to do it for activation and pass. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you're Justin with 14 cards, he probably has a couple characters. He probably wants to jump on that site, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If Justin's got, you know, Greg's still only activating 13. Like 17 is a bunch, so he'll have a lot of force to work with, but I think Justin's got to drain for 3 and then empty his hand on that site and make it happen.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already down to 22 cards in reserve, so like we said, it's it'll be a quick game either way.
Yeah. Maybe we don't have to restart our Zoom. All right, so Greg plays it could be worse. It's going to get grabbed for the 3.
Yep.
All right, and it's worse. Every time you play that, you take a breath. I lost a game in the OCS. I think it was in September against Derek Jackson, where I played it. He played it worse, and that was basically the game.
Yeah, that sounds like something Derek would do. So, I see Bill saying 4 Sonics makes sense, and yeah, it wouldn't shock me at all. It's 4 Sonics and 4 accelerates. Because you want that going right away.
All right, so he's got the Force Lightning in hand. Here comes Emperor.
Yep.
He's been cycling with 4 Lam. Now he's got Lord Maul. Oof.
Yeah,
so
I mean, he's...
Yeah. So we're not going to see cloaking, it looks like. Or at least not for a while, unless Maul gets knocked off. But yeah, 4 Lam's been setting up some high destinies there. Like, Justin can zap somebody.
I'm not even sure you're going to see cloaking, honestly. Like,
well, not now, yeah.
I'm not sure even if he kills off Lord Maul.
Yeah.
If you put Maul and the ship up there and start cloaking, you're losing 2. And you put 2 cards out there to lose 2. Or you just leave him to get the +1 to the drain and lose 2 to his drain up there.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're in a better position to have Lord Maul on the ground draining than losing 2 to satisfy battle order.
So Greg is actually up right now in hand and life with 37 to 34, but Justin has much better board control here with You know, and Visage is pinging. Visage is pinging. He's got 2 drains totaling 5. So that's what, 7 a cycle to 2, basically.
Yep.
So Greg's got to change the math here.
Greg's got to take one of the sites. I mean, this was going to come down to that no matter what. Greg needs to take a site.
That's pretty sweet, though. You got 4 Dark Jedi on 2 Jedi Masters, 2 Dark Jedi. I'm
just confused because I remember clearly they said there's only ever 2 Dark Jedi at a time.
We should ask Bill about this. He might know about the 2 rule.
Always 4 there, Ari.
All right, so Justin loses from Force Pile, so he clearly knows what. I think he had 2 in his reserve at the end of his turn, and he's been cycling.
Well, he lost the Emperor from hand.
Vader, the Enforcer.
Yeah.
Is that the one with the sweet image? Oh, no, he doesn't have the AI. I don't think he doesn't have any AIs in this deck. I think Justin likes them, though. The Jump AIs are pretty sweet. A lot of opportunities.
Yeah, I don't know how many of those Justin. I'm sure Justin has a bunch of them, and he may just want not go through and make the change.
Yeah, the time investment to do that isn't worth it for everybody at all times, at least.
And Greg's just drawing a bunch. I think he's got a. Oof.
Because now he's not gonna have only have 21 down to work with, but at some point he's got to put some heavy hitters down, save some stuff for Destiny, or maybe is this a situation where he just deploys and passes type thing to not get counter beat?
Yeah, I mean, all right. I grabbed Tree Protector again. Yeah, I mean, I could see the deploy and pass, but he's got 19 cards in hand. I wonder if he's in the same boat Justin was with trying to find something.
Looking for a Rey? I mean, what other key things are... Leia's dead. She's a dead card until Rey comes out.
Yeah.
So she's not doing anything.
And that might be
and same with Anakin, too. Anakin Padawan Learner is usually in Legends, sometimes 2 copies. And he's pretty useless right now.
Yeah, he'd be dead as well. So, yeah, he's got to find Rey. Because no way he's trying to go after those guys with Chewie and Rose.
Yeah. That makes this deck choice even better from Justin now that you think about it. Because he really pigeonholes Greg into finding the Jedi Rey. And we know he top-decked 1 a while ago. He's probably running... Yeah. Obviously, he's running at least 1 more, maybe 2 more. Might be 3.
Probably 3. Yep, they just pitched a Rose from hand. But yeah, I mean, he's going to eat 6 this turn between the drains and Visage. It's...
Yeah, this is a lot.
Well, one of them's going to hit critical mass here pretty quick.
Yeah.
And I got to...
Yeah, we're only like 22 minutes in.
I mean, Justin's got to teach tomorrow. He might not want to be up too late playing, so you play that fast burn deck and let it go.
So Greg's really thinking about what Force to lose here. I mean, he's between a rock and a hard place, and he's got 70 cards in his hand, but I'm sure he's like trying to measure which ones he needs. So he loses Lando from hand.
Scoundrel Lando, who would be
Force Lightning
a solid way to try and clear a site, but sure looks like Force Lightning bait.
Yeah. An expensive Force Lightning bait at that.
Yeah.
And BB-8. So BB-8 and Rose both get tossed.
Paying 5 to grab this Force Lightning seems like it seems like a tough bid.
Yeah. And here comes the 2. Yeah, remember when Legend could run Ahsoka and EPP Obi and EPP Qui-Gon? Those were the days.
Actually, that might have been part of the time I was retired. There's a
2020
chunk of time that I missed. I was still on the forums and paid attention in the off-topic stuff and to hang out with people who had been considered friends for 20 plus years, but I wasn't really following the game. So there's a chunk of time, you and I talked about it at Worlds, where I made that mistake with Ellers. I wasn't around when he came out.
Yeah. Brian Fred,
and I basically just forgot he could do stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
I've debated him sometimes in like no idea, just because he gets the power bonus at the beach. He's a good pilot. And yeah, he's undercover protection. Because for a while, like Corrin would get like Nivar Yalnald for a little bit until that was shielded and became less popular. But yeah, all right. So Justin now just reinforces these sites even
just
more.
Backs up and
he puts Tarkin with Emperor. That makes sense. I was gonna say Tarkin with Vader, but either one works. And then he's got a Vazan combo. So yeah, he's really locking up these sites.
I like the way he made that split because Lord Vader's going to draw better weapon destiny.
Yeah.
And so make a little more use out of Dr. E and you know, Maz, he's going to take an extra battle destiny.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume Greg will have a leadership.
Right. And there goes General Leia from hand, right? I think that was what we just saw.
Yeah.
Visage pings are adding up. Let's do a sticker book token for this game, Garrett. Any cards jump out that we should announce?
Kind of thinking Sonic, since that was our Sonic Bombardment. Since that was the card we were been kind of talking about the most.
Yeah. So Sonic Bombardment V is everyone's sticker book token. Email that to holotheater. That's RE at the end at starwarsccg.org. Include the body of the email, Sonic Bombardment V. Just say you're watching OCS playoffs, Desai, Shaw, and we'll tally that. And then
those sticker books are cool.
Yeah.
Somebody had one at Worlds. I think he had all the stickers.
Oh wow.
And he had a whole book printed out for it. It kind of reminded me, like, I'm definitely showing my age here, but everybody here is old like me. Like the old hockey and baseball sticker books from back in the day when we were all kids.
Yep.
He had a whole book printed out like that. It looked, I was impressed. It looked good.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, I know Bufred and I think Surson. As we have, all right, so Leia and Rey come down here. Oof, this is going to be ugly because obviously Justin's doing that because he knows what's on top.
Yep.
Greg activated everything.
Burn Rey.
So clearly he was just going to pass this turn and now Rey's gone.
Yep.
And he did that. It still is deploy phase. Objective flips back.
But it also means he can't deploy another Rey
this turn, yeah.
So Leia's...
Yeah, like we know he has Chewie in hand, but Chewie's also... I wonder... I wouldn't surprise if Justin has like...
Chewie earlier.
Oh, he lost it? I thought he uploaded it. Maybe he lost it.
He uploaded it and then he lost it to the drain last turn.
Oof. Anakin, that's... He's not... If Greg's deploying Anakin there, that tells me two things. I feel like, one, like, he might not have a Hoojix, and he doesn't have any better characters in his hand. And that's the problem with Legend now. Legend's player or persona base is like pretty limited. It doesn't have a lot of variety.
Crazy Carl was saying it was David Woods with binders, and then Yoshi, Sam Tashima, who was helping finish it up. And I do remember seeing Sam. I'm unfortunately a little bad with people and names sometimes, unless I've met you more than a few times.
So Greg loses Walkling here to get Rey back, so Rey's going to be on the top of the Life Force. And yeah, and thanks to everyone for the patience with the sticker books. I know we did the first round, the second round, and third. I know Kevin's, I'm sure, hard at work. Those things take a lot of time. But as soon as I get them, I'll pass them on. I know some people have a lot for like the second round, and right now we're accruing the third. That'll go through the end of the calendar year. But the way it looks like it is the second and third rounds will go out together, and then a few people still have round one stuff. So thanks to everyone for their patience with that. But obviously that's a huge lift, and I think the reward in the end is good. You can all basically... Some of you will be opening up like a booster box worth of packs.
I'm sure everyone... I know I love getting mail.
Yeah.
You know, it's because we don't really haven't opened boosters in years. Yeah. Losing the sense that... I mean, right now he's flipped, so he can't even play the sense, Bill. So, yeah, with the one on top, theoretically, you'd be like, oh, this is good. But without a Jedi on table, he can't even play that sense, so it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah. Yeah, now he's going to have to eat, what, three more damage here? Speaking of sending stuff...
Yeah, he's going to eat 3 to the drain, and then he's got he just shuffled his reserve, but you knew he's got a 7 in there from the Phantom Menace. He put a card down with Forlom.
Mm-hmm.
So there's one card that maybe he doesn't know what it is, but odds are he does. And, that's why he's got 3 world championships and I'm commentating.
Yes. Yeah. All right, so Greg tosses Fades, which probably is not going to happen this game. Padme from hand, which she's not going to do much going into those 3 characters.
3PO from hand because it's too late for him to...
Oof.
Oh.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't have the Hoojiks...
Yeah, he's just... Yeah, Justin's going for, like, the kill shot here. But honestly, all considered, if Greg loses by, like, 16, 17, 18, something like that, given, like, seemingly, like, everything went wrong here, he has a shot.
I'm actually a little surprised he fried Leia there instead of Anakin. I guess you want the second Battle Destiny that leadership would have prevented. So
and probably the handle maybe is a risk to add power. So
yeah,
maybe. But
if you're just going for the game ender,
but yeah, I'm sure Justin probably has a couple of used interrupts. Although if he has to use interrupts, he better play them because this might be a situation where Greg can just peel and end the game and just kind of make the best of a worse situation, of a bad situation.
Yeah. I mean, because he didn't flip, so he's letting him shoot.
Oh, there's one, so he's just cycling that.
Yep, there's Justin.
Greg can't grab it.
He's at 18. I guess he'll probably have a couple more in there for get it to be around 20.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Leia's gone, so he can't flip because there's no resistance character.
Yeah, even more reason to get rid of Leia there.
Yep.
Oh my gosh,
yeah,
all these
so
7s.
2 7s.
Jeez. 7 6s. Oof. I guess they're 8s for battle. Yeah, oh man.
Oh, there's a.
All right, so yeah, if you're Greg here, I just peel and take the 19. Right? Is it gonna get any better? Probably.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, Justin's gonna toss. He's got enough cards in hand to just toss from hand for 3, 4, 5 turns.
Yeah.
You might have an option, right? I mean, there's a ton of force. So he's just peeling. All right, so he peels. Yeah. So that is going to be 19 for Justin in game 1. All right, so that's game 1.
38 and lost.
I'll definitely end the Zoom, Garrett, and give you another link to start it for game 2. So let me just make sure.
Oh yeah, Zoom has a time limit. So.
On the cheap version, yeah, I could bug Scott. He's got the good version, but it's just an extra step in coordination. All right, so Greg's saying jump right in or 5 minutes.
And Justin said yes, which is not the name.
Yeah, not an doesn't answer our question. All right, well let me end the Zoom and I'll send you a new link. All right, and chat, just bear with us for a moment.
And it looks like they're getting ready to go right away. So
yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right. Bye. All right, everybody. We have, hopefully you can hear me now. We have map versus Yoda communing. Let's see here. Bear with me for one moment. As they're setting up, so we see map from Greg. Looks like Garrett's joining. Again, if the chat can just let us know, you should be hearing both of us momentarily.
And
all right, so Garrett's on now. So
looks like I'm back in.
Yep.
All right, so we got Yoda Communing versus Map.
Yeah, I haven't seen much Map lately.
I know Justin. If you read Justin's tournament report, he was seriously contemplating an audible to this for day 2.
Yeah.
and might have just decided he wanted to play it.
Mm-hmm. And this actually gives me an opportunity to plug the 2023 donations program, which kicks off in 8 days. We're going to do an AI pair for everybody, all donors for the program, and they're horizontal AIs. And both images have now been spoiled. So if you go to starwarsccg.org, there's an article on the right that has the bow to the First Order. But then on the forums, if you dig a little deeper in the 2023 donations program, the I Must Be Allowed to Speak v horizontal AI is spoiled in that thread as well. So they look amazing. Of course, Christian, our graphics lead, continues to just knock it out of the park, and those cards are going to be really fun to play with.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've said it before, and the work graphics has done from when I retired to when I came back is phenomenal. You guys are,
yeah.
It's
funny because the set 20 images, oh my god, they're so good. And actually, I just kind of I think I joined the graphics team yesterday. I just asked Christian hey, can I get a stamp hammer? Am I allowed to stamp images? And he's like, yeah, sure. Because I've always kind of been on the sidelines, but I'm I have some judgments. I worked on some graphic design back in college and all, but yeah. So I was happily going through in anticipation of the new set, which I'm sure Chris Kelly has mentioned. I think Drew mentioned it on one of the pods. One of the Hollow Theater episodes will come out sometime in December. It'll be out ahead of the San Diego Open. But
yeah.
Sorry to babble through kind of the game action here, but this is pretty standard for map. We have Dofeld come out, episode 7 Emperor's out, Dakar is out, Jakku is out, so it looks like Greg is hitting basically all of his activation. I might have made a comment that I thought Justin was on map, but gotta straighten that out. Shaw is on map. Justin's on Yoda Communing with the Gik or the Hujix effect starting. Saitor Walkling. Pretty good start, I would say, from Greg there.
Yeah, and I think we both. For some reason, I was just thinking, it was Justin playing map, but I don't think he can play Darkside twice in a row.
Yeah. Let me update the description here. I told myself I was going to remember to do that. So game 2.
But yeah, I mean, Shaw's got a nice start there, and Map's got potential in a match play format because if Justin doesn't have a BB-8 or can't keep his agent on table, it could be tough for him to get some of that retrieval going. So he's got Anakin Padawan Learner as the agent.
Right, because that's a new change relatively recently, the agent. And that helps, I mean, you would know this, right? Aren't you a WAP guy? Doesn't that help WAP in some capacity?
I mean, I've played WAP. I don't know that I'd call myself a WAP guy. I think that's Robbie, but I think it helps WAP somewhat just being able to make someone the agent. I know pre that change, WAP was running a solo, just so you could use him as the agent, and he's a solid overall character, but being able to just make one of your Republic guys the agent and move forward isn't a bad thing. And with Yoda Communing, Justin probably only had a few options for who he could make the agent there.
Now there's this. I know obviously Justin's played a couple different varieties of the Yoda Communing, but this one looks like more of the ground heavy one, as opposed to the 7s with the R2, right? Doesn't that one usually start Jedi business?
That one can start Jedi business.
It doesn't always start Squadron assignments.
Always. Saitor's as good because you're not pulling. You're usually not pulling the nightclub, and if you're not pulling Malastare, the one force saved for. I mean, you get the one force saved for Qui-Gon, you get the bonus immunity to Mace, potentially, but it is a little more limiting on what you can do with lightsabers.
Right.
So having the Saitor there isn't bad, and I think Justin's just holding off on deploying a site till he can go somewhere. There's no point in putting out another system because map is good enough in space to definitely give him trouble.
Yeah.
So putting a Duran 2 system up there seems like if you're not ready to defend it, it seems like a bad idea.
Seems interesting. I shouldn't say too. So Greg pulled the Imperial Attention Shield, and that obviously makes. Oh,
It'll make Luke.
For Luke, yeah, because he's free aboard R2 and Red 5.
Yep.
Yeah. That also makes sense sometimes against like Leia's resistance transport, but it's got to be pretty early in the game where you don't want to let them. Where that 2 force means a lot more than like turn 3, for example. But yeah, okay. So.
Yeah, I mean, how many shields does Greg really think he's going to need to play here?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe Battle Order and Secret Plans.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't hurt him, and it wouldn't shock me at all if there's a Cold Feet in there as well.
Yeah. That I think's been a lot less popular the last like 6 months versus, last year. Cold Feet.
Yeah, because there's so many good cards.
Oh yeah.
Like it's hard sometimes to fit in those like generally useful but not particularly targeted cards.
Yep. Yep.
And when you need to pull a card, something like Cold Feet, where you can look at it and be like, well, if I just played smarter, I wouldn't need that shield pull. Becomes a little easier to justify taking out. So
yep.
Justin went for the Battleground site for Battleground and missed.
Yeah, they got to verify.
Must have been using it to make sure the Camino site was in there.
So yeah, so we're gonna have 3 systems out now. Wow, lots of locations, and the only characters are Emperor and Mr.
And
Mitaka. Yeah. Sand comes out. All right. Fall of the Legend. Oh, double Fall of the Legend. Spicy.
And I think that's, for the light side, that's definitely the card that's, for me, kind of knocked Hear Me Baby out of a couple decks.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, look, this is just more generally useful.
Yeah, I think Drew used it in like his NPC deck, I think, or me put in No Idea at some point, and I liked it in No Idea because No Idea does not have, it's got the Admiral's Orders, but doesn't really have a lot of 6s besides that. So to have like a trackable 6 in a deck that, especially early on, is pretty bad Destiny, is nice. Opponent retrieves a force, or I found it surprisingly helpful in No Idea.
Oh, it's a real good card.
Yeah.
So apparently Joe did a whole thing on shield pullers.
Yeah, one of his tournament reports, he basically was like, "Think just be better with your shield pulls." No, seriously, he's like, the angle
like
is
what I said, but maybe a little more politely.
He is basically like, is the shield puller better than the 60th card that you would pick? And sometimes it doesn't. But I think the tricky thing is, or not the tricky thing, for like more, less expert players, you have to be really good with your shields. You can't, gives you less wiggle room to mess up a shield pull.
Yeah.
Which I have definitely had games where I made suboptimal shield pulls.
I think everyone has. We ran a local here yesterday, and one of the now 9th graders from Rosemont didn't really know what he was running into against somebody else playing Echo Base Operations.
Yeah.
And peeled 25 or 26 after losing a loaded Emperor's shuttle.
Oh, jeez.
So
yeah, EBO you need a shield plan against because usually resistance, the co-clearance, grabber.
Well, and he was playing Hunt Down V. Like it should have been a cake like that. It's kind of a cakewalk against EBO because you should go Vader with a saber down and say, all right, pay 9 to drain me for 3.
Yeah.
And he's a young kid. And I'm like, now you've learned a valuable lesson. And we talked a little bit about now you learned how to plan for that. And, if you're not sure what your opponent's doing, be a little more cautious sometimes.
Yeah. So we have here, so Aura comes down, Dr. E comes down, Kylo comes down, gets the bow pull to an Episode 7 location. Justin's, or not Justin, I keep thinking Justin's playing map, because, yeah, that tournament report comment, my fault.
Yep.
Greg still has 10 force to deploy stuff with. So, yeah, it'd be interesting how much he loads up this site. But real quick, just about your locals, and I mentioned it earlier just about shipping stuff out. I'm about to ship out like 40 packages for the Retro League. And there are a lot of Retro League players in Minnesota and the Midwest. So my suggestion to you would be for the major, the what we're going to call it, Nationals probably, right, in October?
Yep, I think it's going to be Nationals here in April.
I would strongly suggest you guys do some type of retro event that weekend. I think it'll get a very good response.
Could definitely see that. I was contemplating trying to do a cube event on Friday evening as well. I really, really enjoyed the Throtos Thrill Ride cube.
Yeah. It got like a perfect review rating, I feel like everyone loved it.
Yeah, I thought it was... I loved the pulling a card aspect, so you were no longer like... if you took Veers, you got Blizzard 1. Yeah. Instead of having the I'll draft Veers and maybe Blizzard 1 makes it back to me. And that was, I thought, a spectacular design choice, and really made it so you could play good decks instead of just, I guess I piled these cards together and hope it works out.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so he's got Luke.
And now, of course, he can teleport Kylo over, right, with Mitaka. Oh, no. No, he can't, right? Same size resistance agent. Luke is not a resistance agent.
Yeah, he'll be able to teleport him to Anakin's site if... Anakin
Skywalker, Padawan learner.
Oh, so now he can teleport him to Luke's site.
Yeah, but he's got 2 tank Jedi there. I wonder if Mace's Saber is going to come out also. All right, Bionic Hand, but there's... no tasty interrupts in the Lost pile quite yet.
Yeah.
But give him that extra power, for sure. 22.
And just keep that going. He can easily, during battle, put in a Clash or a URB or a Sorry.
Yeah.
And then go get it back. So there's the resistance transport.
And he's going to have to pay the 2 because of the shield.
And he doesn't have the 2.
Ooh. Ooh. See now, this is interesting because this is a misplay.
Right? That's a huge misplay, and
so I would not fault Greg for denying it.
I'm sure Greg allows it, but definitely.
Yeah, I would not fault anyone for rejecting that one, but yeah, Greg's a good guy.
I wouldn't, but at the same point, in real life, I try and play Gemp a lot like, live play, where in live play I had to put that down and been like, wait a minute, what's going on? And most opponents would say, okay, no, just, clearly you forgot that card was there. Let's move on. And that's just the... I know I talked about it during Bill's games, but the game's in such a better place as far as everyone sort of adheres to the don't be a dick rule. And I love that. And it makes it so much more fun to play from, I've been playing in tournaments since Dagobah was released. And I remember a lot of the stuff people pulled and did, and nope, you can't do that. And go on. So now, Charlie's saying Greg gave away a free win there, and I think he probably did.
Because if he rejects it, then the transport's just hanging there. And I was just going to say, I bet Greg has Ellis floating around. This is why Justin's stacking the site pretty strongly. With the Saber, the Bionic Hand, the Ray, he's saving none. Map almost always runs first strike. So this is interesting. Wonder if there's disarms floating around for either player. And Greg, of course, now he's got a ton to work with. He's going to have 23, potentially 23 force. He's just cycling a card here, it looks like. to get some more cards back in his life force, so he has more for Destinies. Destiny 4, right? That never hurts to have down.
Yeah, no, it's... And just having those cards in there.
Yeah.
The drops. I mean, he can activate a bunch of cards here right now and draw some more stuff down. And I mean, we're leaving on table, chat's pointing out, so...
Yeah, so it wouldn't have been like a blowout.
It wouldn't have been a blowout, but it would have cost him the we're leaving, which might have been impactful.
Yeah, we know Greg has Finalizer in his hand. But yeah, even more than just like burning the we're leaving, then he just kind of sets Justin back of, you know, what other space do you have? When's it coming out? You're kind of just delayed. So, all right,
so like he's probably not running the 7 since Old Man Luke's on table, so his space is probably Leia's Transport and HCF. Maybe? Like...
Yeah. All right, so big turn here.
How many levitations? I feel like at the amount of crud Justin was giving you in chat, Bill, I think he's levitation free.
I brought two. I brought 3 of those to Worlds. I put them in the box to bring to Worlds. Levitation, but
I feel like Justin was not worried about facing the Silence's Golden Deck, so he left out the levitations and he left out the counter assault.
Back in the day, back in like 2019, I would like sneak like surprise assault in my Prophet deck when like Map was doing the troopers, and towards the end of the game, I could funnel my destinies filter my destinies pretty good, and I think I got Yodad once with that. I'm pretty sure it was Yodad, but another reason cold feet's good.
But we did a retro local here 8-9 months ago, and I played a goofy watch your step with a bunch of artilleries and intruder missiles. Oh, nice. And I snuck one surprise assault in there for late, and it was pretty impactful against a court deck. Like, you got 6 guys in there and total power at 12, huh? This isn't going to end well for you.
All right, so big turn here. Greg plays Coward, so he's not going to let any Walkling get a saber back type thing. There's 1 combined card in each player's lost pile, and this is the start of turn 4.
Yeah, this is a setup game. So, and I think Greg is probably holding Finalizer. For late.
Yeah, both players activating a ton here. Greg's got a 15-card hand. If I was Greg right now, I'd probably be taking my time to be like, okay, this is a big turn. Let me make sure I'm not rushing anything. Let me make sure I'm considering all the different possibilities here.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to have a sniper with aura. Let's see. A sense, perhaps? Maybe? He's got Wise of... Oh, he's got Do Not End Wise Advice out. So, yeah, no sense.
Yeah.
No sense is happening.
I don't think Justin's running... Dodge. Running the dodge, though.
That's a good card. Yeah.
Now, is Greg going to sense that?
It's hanging there, so it might be... Oh, he could theoretically grab it.
Yeah.
Got 2 Fall the Legends on sand over here, in case anyone's wondering in the chat. And we do have the sense. Okay.
Yep.
All right, so Greg's going for broke here. Attack position now. Interesting. All right, so he's going to lose the 2. Very possible as Carl mentioned it? No, Dorsch. Very possible Greg has the first strike in his hand right now, so very possible he's one of these back. Especially because he got accelerates all over the place.
Not surprise me.
Ooh, Weapon Destiny is a 1. Maybe he's got a Sith Fury?
I was going to say, is he waiting on a Sith Fury?
He had that 6 lined up.
Well, he would have missed anyways because it was a 6 and a 1.
With Aura? Oh, yeah. Does Luke have his saber?
Yeah.
Yes.
Luke has his saber, season 8.
And he did target Luke, right?
Yeah, he targeted Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah, first strike would be huge right here.
So now, Greg's probably got like a decision tree here now. All right, now what does he do? Still got 12
Greg
cards
really wanted that sniper to go through, although,
yeah,
the 6 wouldn't have gotten him there anyways.
Right,
so
we got a force push
to go get something.
Maybe like a you are beaten, or maybe the first strike. Maybe he doesn't have it.
He doesn't even have a saber there yet.
Yeah, where's Kylo's saber? Why isn't that out yet?
Could be a you beaten. He could actually be going to grab a disarmed.
Yeah, still his control phase.
Like, disarming Luke here would not be a bad play at all.
Can do it, right? The
bionic, I think it's Obi's journal, but
yeah, mixed up.
Yeah,
yep.
Bionic, he'd lose the bionic hand as well.
But maybe Justin, I'm sure he's got a Nessa on the deck probably. Lost if Luke disarmed. Greg gets yet another force, so he's got 21 force now to work with, and presumably a really good card out of that 20 potential options to draw from.
The 20 force that he did the pick of the litter to figure out. All right, there's a sabers.
Assage. There's the first strike.
The first strike, so he can't blast or deflect anything.
Now I think at the bottom of Greg's reserve deck here in these 6 cards, does he still have that the starting interrupt? I think's in there. The one that he drew for Ellis, I think, is in there. Ellis is in there, right?
Yeah. Simple tricks to. I think Greg's probably okay with that.
Snoke's gonna get a use pile pull. Lots of options here. 12 potential cards. Greg trying to piece together a bunch of things, and of course, even if like he has a battle go amazingly well, Justin can just use the "we're leaving," but he can.
Okay.
Oh, that's that new rule.
Oh, yeah, because it's an optional.
Yeah, EBT just updated that to actually be possible, because for all this time, technically Anakin was bugged.
Yep.
Because he says players may initiate policy for free, but Jemp would never used to give you the option. But that just changed in the last day or two, I think. Might even been this morning.
Another dodge just went away.
All right, so Justin can't play any interrupts here because of first strike. Assage is going to go for Luke. We're going to get a 5.
Oh. Let's go on the redraw right away. Okay.
There's the 4, so that's the first destiny. Yes, this is you spend 1, right, for the... Oh, man, he misses again. So Luke is very hard to get rid of this turn.
Yeah, that was...
So yeah, use 1 force. I don't think we knew what that card was, right? The 2.
Firing with Mace. I don't think he did. Mace going after Dr. E.
2 with Poe. I don't see Poe in too many Yoda communing decks, even though, of course, he's an awesome pilot. And
yeah, that one's...
Run, Luke, run. Interesting. I remember when Justin was on Holo Theater a week or 2 ago, I think he was saying, it might have been the context dependent. I think he was saying it's a good card, but not a great card against pops.
It's a card that has to be in there.
All right, so Greg uses the Kylo effect to cancel the draw, so Dr. E's going to live.
I mean, Justin's going to have another swing here.
Another 2, right?
Well, I got to imagine Greg's thinking he can hit somebody with Aura.
He's going after Luke a 3rd time's a charm, is it? Or is it not? 4, is this?
Probably not.
I think Bill said it's shuffled, right?
Well, this will be the one force he used.
Oh, man. There's the Kylo. Oh,
there's Kylo's saber.
Why is Kylo's not on the table? Once per game may deploy light. Did he already? Greg concedes. Okay. That was a bunch of things not going right there.
That was a tough game at the end there.
Yeah. So congratulations to Justin. He's going to advance, and he's going to play. I think we said Gavin, right?
Yep. Yeah. Justin will play Gavin, and
who advanced past Crypto?
Bill is playing Bastion.
Okay.
Trying to just run that table into the
Cinderella.
So.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, good match, Garrett. Thanks a lot for joining me tonight. If anyone missed it, the sticker book token is Sonic Bombardment V. But yeah, thanks for joining. Justin's going to move on to the final 4. I think he's 4 for 4 now. In the 4 years he's made, or 4 years he's made the playoffs. There was 1 year he basically didn't really play that much. I think he made... No, Joker King knocked him out last year, I think. In the top 8, maybe. But he won in 18, won in 20, and now he's trying to win again in an even year. He's like the San Francisco Giants of... might be the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah. He's in the Final 4. He's got a shot at it. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for watching. And, Jared already hyped it once, but if you haven't done the survey, go do it, because we definitely want to hear everybody's opinion.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, y'all have a nice night.
All right, everyone. Take care. Bye.